If you're trying to make money by day trading, listen to me right now. Stop. Day trading is a lie. It's a myth. It's a scam. It's all bullshit. And anybody that told you that day trading was a way to consistently and repeatedly make money, they lied to you. They're a con artist, and they were probably trying to sell you a course or some membership. Now, for many of you watching this video right now, you have bought into this whole day trading lie, right? You're trying to make day trading work. And when I just told you day trading doesn't work, you immediately wanted to recoil in horror. Like, no way, it's got to work because I believe it's going to work. I've bought into the bullshit. I'm going to make it work, DT. Please watch this video, continue watching this video, and I'm going to explain it to you like you're 5 years old why day trading just doesn't work. So when I'm talking about day trading, of course, I'm talking about really short time frame trades. A day trade is typically something you put on that day and close that same trading day. So really short time frame trades. A few hours at most, many of them just a few minutes, or in some cases even a few seconds in length. And typically how this is sold to you by the fake trading gurus is you're staring at a candlestick chart, right? You're watching price action and you're drawing support and resistance lines, and you're drawing patterns like ascending triangles, descending triangles. You're looking for double tops and double bottoms. You're looking for a head and shoulders pattern or whatever it happens to be. And you're drawing patterns on this candlestick chart. And when a certain pattern appears, or, a certain resistance level or support level is hit, then you take a trade. And because of the pattern or whatever it is you drew on the chart, the trade's either going to be a bullish or a bearish trade. So you either get long or short that futures contract or that Forex pair. And in all of these products, these are essentially 50-50 coin flip trades. Now, some of these products have a slight drift in one direction or another, but it's a very slight drift. It's essentially a 50-50 coin flip, whether that next candlestick is going to be a green candle or a red candle. All you're doing is you're betting on the flip of a coin. Would you ever bet on a coin flip in real life? Say, I pull out a quarter right now and we're going to bet over and over again $100 every time I flip a coin, and you have to guess whether that next flip is going to be heads or tails. Would you do that over and over again all day, every day, potentially for years into the future, and think you're going to somehow come out ahead? Now, anybody with grade school level math skills knows that the probabilities of these coin flips, it's 50-50. And if you do them enough, the law of large numbers, if you do it enough, say thousands, maybe tens of thousands of times, you're probably going to come out exactly 50% heads, 50% tails. You're going to win 50% of the time, you're going to lose 50% of the time, and you should come out basically even. Of course, I'm not charging you a fee or a commission for those coin flips. Your broker, though, is charging you a fee or a commission for every single trade that you take. So you're taking these coin flip kind of trades where you have absolutely no positive expectancy. You, at best, you're going to break even over time, but there's a drag because of the fees and the commissions. And there's also a real drag if you trade too big, because one of the things with day trading, unless you keep your size really small, all it takes is a few strings of bad luck and you could actually blow up your account. So there is some risk management techniques that you need to employ just to even stay in the game. Now, I know some of you are like, well, we're not flipping coins, DT. We're watching the candlestick patterns of this chart, and the candlestick patterns, they predict the future. Yes, this past price action somehow will predict the future. Well, does the past events of the coin flip predict the next coin flip? Immediately you're going to say, well, no, we all know that if I flip heads on a coin, say 15 times in a row, that 16th time, what's the odds of me getting another heads? Well, it's still 50-50, right? The next coin flip is always 50-50. The past doesn't matter. It's really the same thing with the candlestick patterns of your stock chart. It's just showing you the outcomes of previous coin flips. It's not really predicting the next coin flip. A great analogy is for any of you that have been to a casino. Have you ever bet on a roulette wheel? A roulette wheel has red squares and black squares, and it's a 50-50 coin flip whether it's going to land on red or black. So would you ever go to a casino and think you're going to be a professional roulette player and you're going to just call red or black on every spin of a roulette wheel, and somehow you're going to come out ahead. Immediately, you're going to say, no, that's impossible. There's no edge there, and you would be right. But here's the thing. What if I said, let's log all the outcomes of that roulette wheel? Every time it lands on red, every time it lands on black, the patterns, as far as there will be patterns if we charted it like on a real chart, like a candlestick kind of chart. It would actually look like a trading chart, like a stock chart, because there would be random patterns. There would be strings of a lot of reds in a row, a lot of blacks in a row, and it would meander all over the place if you charted that like we do stocks. And naturally, that random pattern would have things like double tops and double bottoms and head and shoulders and all of these random chart patterns. And would you think that any of that stuff, as far as red and black on a roulette wheel, would you think any of those patterns hold sway over the next outcome of the spin of the roulette wheel? Immediately, you're going to say, well, of course not. That's dumb. That's what you're doing, buying into the day trading bullshit, right? You're just calling red or black on a roulette wheel, and you think that chart pattern and the things you're drawing on the chart, you think that has some sway over the next outcome, over that next candlestick, and no. It obviously does not, and we know it doesn't, because how many people do you know that have been day trading for many, many years consistently and have been profitable? And I'm not talking about the people you see on YouTube and TikTok as far as the trading gurus. They're all trying to sell courses and very expensive memberships for some reason, even though they're obviously very successful day traders, right? Here's a little bit of research I actually want you to do. Go take a look at all of the famous traders and investors throughout history, the people we know, the names all of us, you and I know, the really famous guys that made bajillions of dollars over a number of decades trading and or investing. How many of those guys day traded? As far as how many of those guys primarily used day trading, like scalping futures or scalping Forex, as their strategy to make their billions? You won't find any. I'll just go ahead and save you the search, but still, I still want you to go do that search, because if you're one of these people that have bought into the day trading bullshit, I think you would be surprised that none of the real traders out there, nobody's trying to make that day trading dream live. And the reason I make all these videos trying to highlight the scam that is technical analysis and the scam that is day trading, the reason I keep hammering this point home is because people still want to resist the obvious truth. Just the other day, I was reading a social media post where somebody mentioned that after 10 years of trying to make day trading work, he thinks he finally figured it out. After 10 years. Think about that. He's lost money consistently for 10 years. No telling how much money he's lost. Tens of thousands of dollars, probably, maybe hundreds of thousands or even millions if he was really trying to trade with a large account. But this guy has been bleeding money for over a decade, trying to make this thing work. It just doesn't work. And then he says, well, after 10 years of trying to make the thing work, of trying to make the coin flips work, he thinks he's got it figured out. And deep down, I know he doesn't have anything figured out. What happened is, in this 10th year of him trying to make it work, he hit a string of good luck, because the roulette wheel will eventually have a string of, say, 10, 15, 20 times in a row where it lands on red or lands on black, or you flip the coin 20 times in a row and it lands on heads all 20 times. That's going to happen. You're going to have those really good runs of good luck and bad runs of luck as well, right? So this is what happened to him in this 10th year, and now it's convinced him, oh, I must have it figured out finally. And it breaks my heart because I know he doesn't, right? He's immediately going to be a losing trader, say, in the 11th year, because his luck is going to run out on these coin flips. Now, if you bought into the day trading bullshit, what if I told you that there was a way to actively trade in a responsible manner and consistently make money? What if I told you that? Would you be interested? What if I told you that this responsible way of trading and consistently making money doesn't require technical analysis or any of that bullshit? No drawing patterns on a chart like an 8-year-old, coloring in their little coloring book. We don't have to do that. And by we, I'm talking about those of us that trade options. You need to learn how to swing trade options. You need to learn how to buy and sell options for consistent income. Now, if you're brand new to options trading, you're probably thinking, well, options is complicated. It's difficult. I've never understood what a long call or a short put or any of that meant. Well, guess what? It's never too late to learn, and this is not rocket science. Anybody can learn how to trade options. I wrote a great book, The Super Wheel Option Strategy. This book, by the way, is available on Amazon. You'll find a link to the book in the description below. But in that book, it discusses my favorite option strategy, which is the wheel option strategy. But more than that, it actually covers the very basics of options trading, including what a long call, long put, short put, all the basic option strategies. It covers all the Greeks, delta, theta, vega. It covers implied volatility and what that means for options trading. My book is only about 220 pages long, and it's a rather easy read, and it's written as somebody that has been a teacher in a previous life, right? I'm pretty good at conveying complicated topics in an easy to understand manner. So please check out that book if you want to learn more about how to trade options, because please get off that day trading bullshit train, because all that's going to lead to is financial ruin and heartache. Peace, guys.